Hey guys, it's postboxpat. Welcome back to a classic series on my channel. Back from season 1, I used to make these how to win videos and they have returned to the channel, so welcome back to the season 2 version of how to win on chapter 2. So I'm going to give you guys some ultimate tips that are going to help you win. I am not a pro player, which makes this video very useful to the majority of casual players. So let's get into this and show you guys exactly what's going on here. So I jumped out pretty soon on the battle pass and decided to go to the shark location. However, I didn't want to go bang on in the location because in my opinion, the shark and obviously the agency are the two most popular areas at this moment in time to land due to their mythic weapons being very powerful. I do have a video up on my channel which I'll link at the end of this video, which will give you guys a guide on how to get every single mythic weapon very quickly by landing at that zone. It's a very useful video, it's up on my channel, I highly recommend checking it out after this one. But right now what I'm doing is I've decided to not land exactly on the shark. One, because I had a challenge and I wanted more XP, and two, because I decided to just loot up around the sides to get loot first, let the people fight, because I saw so many people going in, always scout on how many people are going into that area, and you can see I managed to loot up so much stuff using different like objects and items objects to collect different stuff. So that's really cool. Obviously the object in this instant would be the actual boat itself, so that's really cool. But I'm simply just rotating around, seeing if I can get a few shots off with my boat here, just having a little bit of fun in the water, because as a casual player you don't want to be building huge hotels, or 5-star hotels as my friends call them. It's crazy to see people always doing that. You just want to be getting a nice victory royale, nice and peacefully, enjoying the game the way you want to play it. So simply right here I'm just trying to loot up more stuff, trying to get a bit of shield to rush in, because I know there's still people in the shark, so we're obviously going to need a lot of shield to go and siege that location. So let's jump on over there and get them taken out. So as we rotate over to the shark, you know, I'm keeping my eyes out, keeping it peeled just to see if the guy has managed to get the grapple yet and rotates out, but there's no sign of anyone other than that building on the right. So I know there's going to be a few people in here, so I rotate in nicely here and I can hear a bit going on, a lot of music and stuff in this area, so keep your eyes peeled. I can see the turret's still active, so let's rush past the turret and see if anyone's through this door here, and the Jenny is still here. This is something I always debate. I'm never too sure whether to take out the Jenny or just leave it, because sometimes the turrets can come in handy when you're fighting an opponent. That's just my opinion on it anyway. So in this situation here, I'm thinking, you know, should I damage the Jenny or should I leave it? And I'm actually thinking I'm going to leave it, because if I need to run down to here, it's going to be useful to obviously have this turret in a combat situation. I've left it on a little bit of health just in case I want to come down again this direction and use this maybe as an escape route or as kind of like a weapon to help me fight opponents. So here I am fighting the leader of this sector, and obviously there's a guard over there, so I'll take him out really quickly, one of the henchmen. Nicely done. Now let's take out the boss, and obviously the boss is going to give me access to the upgraded Scar, the mythic version, and it's going to give me access to the unlimited ammo grappler, which is just insane movement at this moment in time with no movement really in the game. I think when helicopters come in, the grappler won't be as good, but right now it's pretty overpowered. So now I've grabbed the card. You're probably thinking, Pat, why aren't you opening the vault straight away? Well, I know there are still two people here because I can hear combat going on, and actually when I go up here, you'll notice I actually bump into one of the skins over here, which is the Agent Banana. So I start spraying him down. My accuracy and aim isn't the best. Obviously I'm not a pro player, but these tips could help anyone just get casual wins. I then go in for a little bit of combat with the SMG, hit a few shots, but obviously my SMG still needs reloading, so I just decided to make a run for it, because what's the point of losing all your good weapons when you're trying to get a victory royale? You can come back and eliminate him because you know there are still two other opponents. So he doesn't know where I've gone. I've got the grappler, I leg it down to the beach, and I decide to do a little bit more fishing really, try and get some obviously regenerable items. I got my slurp fish there, which is going to come in handy. I use them in the right order so I can get as much health as possible there, using obviously as much as possible with all them fish, and then going for more as well, just trying to get slurp fishes and floppers and just basically getting max HP and a bunch spare for later on in the game, which would come in handy. So again, going back in with the grappler right now, I can see here I've got a campfire if I need it, and I'm keeping my eye out for him. I know there's been a combat going on because I can hear something, and I just catch him off guard really when he's on low health after having a fight already with the other one, which was just the best strategy right there. What's the point of going all out aggressive to get the kill when you can do that nice and easily and still be alive, and you can obviously go and get the rocket launcher in a minute, which I do decide to go and do. So I block up the vault a little bit just in case someone is coming, and if someone does come, you can easily escape through the toilet if you need to. So in here right now, obviously I want to grab as much as possible. The sort of stuff I'm focusing on to grab is obviously healables, but at some point if this video has helped you out, do consider smashing that subscribe, like, and go and use code postboxpat in the item shop. I am a hashtag Epic Games partner and I do receive a small percent. But also, if you would like to check out map change videos on all the secret Easter eggs, I have them on my channel. I also have tips and tricks all the time, showing you guys how to get new items, new stuff very easy, just basically making the entire experience of Fortnite easier for you without having to sweat it 24/7. So if you want to check that sort of stuff out, it's on my channel. Go and have a little look. Moving on from that, so obviously I've got a bunch of minis, I've got a bunch of floppers, I've got my Scar, my SMG and my grappler. I'm thinking the grappler's amazing movement, and the way I play with it, I use it to keep myself distant from the enemies. So what I've decided to do is actually go back up and round and change my SMG for the rocket launcher. You're probably thinking that is a crazy move, but I checked, I had a bunch of rockets on me. Now I've got a very overpowered Scar which shoots faster, does 1 extra damage more than the legendary Scar, and is just generally a better Scar overall, and I've got 9 ammo or 9 bullets or rockets in my rocket launcher. So that's very useful right there. And obviously now I'm in a situation where I can kind of light the fire a little bit to stay alive. I don't really want to use my floppers, I want to keep them, so I picked up some bandages to get a bunch of health as well. So this will help me get up my health to basically max HP, which is going to come in handy. And then again, using the grappler to get out of here. It's not exactly match HP, but I'm 6 HP off, and I'm sure I can find another campfire in a moment. So still looting around here, using that grappler to just get from place to place. You can use boats as well, which is a great opportunity in this situation where I am right now. If I needed to rotate over to somewhere, that boat would fulfill that opportunity if required, but in this situation it's not really an opportunity to take because I don't need to rotate at all. It's like a decision I decided not to take basically, because I've got the grappler, I can see the circle isn't too far away. I don't want a boat right now. I'm looting up a bunch of mats ready just in case some crazy guys decides to build some crazy hotels. So just keep your eyes peeled for it and it will happen. And some of you watching this video may be much better players than me, and that's fair enough. You probably are, because I didn't really play too much of the Battle Royale side of stuff during Chapter 2 Season 1 at all. I played lots during Chapter 1, but Season 1 I played like the first few weeks and then I just didn't really like the theme to it. But this theme I absolutely love it. The stealth meta is so fun. They've put so many stealth items in. They've put decoys in. They've put obviously the boxes you can hide in. They've put so many different things in. Vents. The whole system of this season is really stealthy, and I love that aspect of it. And that's the way I enjoy Fortnite personally, because you can have much more casual and much more enjoyable games and try much more fun stuff during them games. So here you can see I'm just grappling around again, trying to get from place to place. You can see the circles closing over here. I'm sticking to the edge of the circle always, using the grappler as movement. I got a quick elimination there. I may have been a bot. I don't think it was, because they did end up spectating, but they weren't the best of player, which is sometimes happens in obviously casual games. But you can see I'm rotating around, using the water as my advantage, kind of swimming through it. I can use the grappler to get a good view here on top of Softies, which is really nice, because obviously over at the Sweaty Sands beach you can kind of see there's a lot of building going on, so potentially a few build fights which I can get engaged with. But I'm kind of thinking to myself, you know, I may as well keep the distance, keep my eyes peeled, and just be ready just in case I do need to take out anyone at all. So I'm really lining myself up for a good victory here. I'm just basically getting as many mats, getting as much ammo as possible. That's one thing that's key with these 2 weapons I've taken, because I've only got 2 weapons. I need rockets and medium ammo. I think that's so key in this situation. And obviously if I didn't have as much medium ammo as I do, I wouldn't be just running the rocket launcher. I'd be considering taking an SMG, maybe even a shotgun. It depends on what your style of play is. And the grappler is great. If you've got a shotgun or an SMG and you're very good with them, you can grapple in like I'm doing right now and use that SMG and shotgun in close combat. But the way I play the grappler, I actually run away from people and shoot them at range with this overpowered Scar. Why get in so close when most players are really good up close, when you can just keep moving away from them a lot faster because you've got the grappler and taking advantage of it? It could get patched, but it's a great move and it's so fun to see, because they start rushing you and you start going the other way with the grappler, and they're exactly in the same situation they are right now. You'll see many situations of that in this game right here, where people keep coming up to me. I just keep moving from roof to roof, because the grappler gives you that advantage, and I love it. It makes the game so much more enjoyable. Now obviously there's only one grappler out of 100 players, so only one person can have it, and you're not guaranteed it every time. But if you go the shark almost every game, you've got a good chance of getting it. And if you don't go the shark, you still can have fun going over to the getaway, I think that's what it's called, and obviously the agency in the center as well. So these locations, I can't remember the name of it. I always call it the grotto, but it's not the official name for it. So you can go there and grab the minigun, and you can go over to the agency as well to get the classic drum gun. So I'm getting lasered here again. I'm thinking, let's get under these stairs quickly. Someone could have easily caught me out here, but I knew there was a few people shooting and stuff, so they're not going to be rushing into me straight away. I was a bit nervous right here, but even if they came in front of me, I would have just grappled away and just keep running. Exactly what I'm doing here. It's so fun. I'm getting in so many good positions and just keep on moving all over the place. They don't know what's going on at all. I'm grappling everywhere, and they're just looking for me, but they just can't find me because I'm basically Spider-Man right here. Well, obviously Catwoman, because she's using her grapple hook, doing pretty well here. So I've got my RPG ready, I've got my Scar fully loaded, ready to take out opponents. I can see them there in the distance, and my aim isn't perfect, but it's useful, this tactic, because I can get a few engagements. So I'm moving myself up to this wall. It's only on 15 HP, which is probably one of the noobiest things to do, and line myself up on this wall. I probably should have had a better wall with more HP, but I'm lining myself up for that guy who's inside when he's coming towards me. So he comes towards me, I start to laser him. Unfortunately, he just builds in time, and he's already starting to build crazily, so I'm pretty nervous right here, and back myself up a little bit. The other guy actually starts spraying at him, so I try and keep his back towards him, so then obviously I don't get engaged. At this point here, I was running out of room, so let's make a run for it and head towards the circle. So rotating towards the circle, I see there's a building in the distance. That's where my plan is to go to, but obviously there's going to be a few enemies around here. And I think, you know, let's take advantage of these bushes. Why not? They're huge bushes. No one really checks them too much on casual. I see so many people in them all the time. That's what they're there for. Why not take advantage of it? So I decided to go inside one of these bushes, keep an eye out in these big bushes for a few different people. I know there's people coming from that direction. I know there's people coming from over there at southeast. So I've really got to consider my shots here. And this is just probably my worst aim ever right now. And that's what's good about these commentaries. You're not always the best. Every game, you're not popping off. What's the point of me showing off a game where I'm popping off? It's just not the truth every single time. It's like a random time that happens, like 1 in every 10, 1 in every 20. But this game is one of them bad games, but it's one of them games on just strategy, technique, and you can win every single time. Honestly guys, on casual, you can get these wins just by using this grappler. There are the few where you will come against an absolute sweat at the end and you will get absolutely battered, and there's nothing you can do about that. But the majority of the time, if you keep running away from the sweats and letting them battle themselves and just keep picking them off from distance, you will get a good chance. And if you haven't got the grappler, don't worry, you still can use other mythic weapons to keep moving and keep yourself and your eyes peeled. I will make a separate video with me not using the grappler and some more strategies, but this is a great strategy which I recommend trying at least once or twice in your games. Maybe you could even try it to complete your punch cards. It's very fun and enjoyable. So I'm now in a position where you can see a few of my decoys rocking around. I do think Fortnite are going to add another grappler in as well to keep up with this one. It'll just be a standard grappler with say 15 grapples or 10 grapples. It'll change the meta so much more, and I love the grappler metal, so that's why I love this grappler. But if they had normal grapplers as well, it'll compete with it. If you've got a grappler with 15 uses or 10 uses, you can catch up to this grappler. Obviously it'll still outrun you because it's got unlimited uses, which they may change. I don't want them to because it's enjoyable, but they may do. So here I decided to laser this guy. I only actually hit him once or 3 times actually, which is a decent amount of damage, but not enough. Okay, so these next 6 minutes are going to be insane. I've done a decent amount of damage, like I said, to this guy, but still didn't eliminate him, and his structures are still standing. So I decided to take them down. I can see another guy trying to build up to him there behind that little shack. So I'm now in a position where I can hear someone actually around me. So I'm deciding to build up a little bit, pretty slowly. I'm a little bit of a bot in my building, but you can see I'm trying to shoot a few scar shots off at that guy. I'm not getting enough crouching, and I can hear this guy trying to break my structures, and this guy is really trying to kill me real bad. But I catch him out on his build, get a nice rocket off him. He didn't even realize I had a rocket launcher, so an easy kill on him. And look what I come across, guys, the Midas gun itself, the drum gun. So I absolutely love this gun as well. This is super overpowered. So personally, I have 2 or 3 OP weapons here. Probably the spongiest class you could probably ever know. Like, you're just going to sponge so many bullets and do so much damage to people. It's crazy. Now, the Scar's not doing too much damage at that long distance. I know my flopper's down on the ground, and I see I have 999 metal. I'm in the circle. I like to have a little bit of fun, so I say to myself, here it is, guys. Let's build a crazy metal base. So let's go for it. And in this situation right now, I decide to just build something mad. And this is something you can do in your game as well. Why play Fortnite the way the pros play it? Play it how you want to play the game, and this is something that I enjoy doing. This is what Fortnite was meant to be for. It's in the name, Fortnite. It's not meant for kind of ramp rushing and build fights constantly. Obviously that's the meta, but the original intentions of the game were not to do that. So I decided to build some sort of crazy base. I got a few different exits and stuff. I guess it's a little bit like box fighting, but it's not always what it is, because obviously real box fighting's real fast edits, and in the combat here I'm sitting in a position where there's a few entrances, a few exits, and obviously a good line of sight on the enemies. So I'm simply moving around thinking, have I got the right weapons for this situation? I'm thinking, yes I have. I'm going to miss out on the shotgun obviously, but I decided to move up a level to try and get a better view on people. So I've really supported the bottom of this kind of building, so if people do start to shoot this down, they're going to struggle because it's all made of metal, and that's the advantages of having 999 metal from some real sweaty player who I managed to take out with the rocket launcher. I think that's something which was quite useful, and obviously a little bit newbie, but if you want to eliminate someone with the rocket launcher, go ahead. So here you can see me trying to take out this guy again with the rocket launcher. This one's a little bit more difficult because obviously he's a little bit further away and he knows that I've got a rocket launcher, but just kind of like timing my rockets and looking for gaps in his build worked. You can see I just did 115 damage, and now I'm deciding to use Midas's drum gun, trying to get a bunch of damage on them, but not getting enough to actually eliminate them. So here I'm firing in again, trying to get some drum gun shots off. Keep my eyes peeled as well, because there's another guy still left somewhere on this map, which leads me to be obviously one of the 3 opponents. So I don't know where he is, so I'm keeping my eyes peeled, and there, he's behind me. So let's quickly build a bunch of structures and get myself in a good position. I know this structure ain't going to fall easily, so let's support it a little bit and decide to use obviously the drum gun. Give it a quick reload, and here it goes into action. So I start absolutely spraying this guy, doing a bunch of damage to him, and obviously now he doesn't even have shields, so he's really on the run, and I completely lose track of where he is. So I'm pretty high up here and I'm pretty nervous, and I'm thinking I've got to be careful because he's actually destroying stuff, and obviously a lot of it's made of wood, so I'm being pretty sneaky and careful right here. I thought he was below me here, and I was really scared of jumping on that piece. I thought that was the end of me then. I shouldn't have really done that, but you can see now I know the whole thing is supported. I'm building so many ramps and so much stuff to make sure this thing does not fall down. So I'm in a really good position. The next circle is on me, so this structure was just luck, I guess. If I had to move, I would have just grappled somewhere else and built the same thing, but it's nice to actually be able to stay on my base here and kind of let the circle close towards me. I'm just keeping my eyes peeled because there's still 2 people left. I can see the guy down there. Let's take a few shots off at him, and this is when my accuracy really started to step up its game. You can see I absolutely trashed that guy with the scar. It shows how powerful it is right there. So now it's 1v1, and the time has come to get that victory royale. I'm on 5 eliminations. I'm kind of staying on this height because how is he going to knock this down? He's really got to be at the bottom to knock it down, and even if he is at the bottom to knock it down, I can use my grappler to grab onto one of the mountains as I fall, or use my grappler to grab onto one of the structures or one of the trees in the distance and still survive a bit of the fall damage. It's quite a useful technique, and I don't think he's going to destroy the entire house and the bottom layer just to knock me down from here. It would take him a very long time, and I would hear him doing it as well. So I don't know exactly where he is. He's not really moving too much. There's a few footsteps now and then, but not enough to be able to tell exactly where he is. So I'm trying to pick off a few different locations, trying to work out maybe where he could be. I decided to lower down a little bit and trying to get myself in a position. I'm thinking he could be in that 2nd floor of the house, so I decide, we may as well use a rocket through the window. We've got a total of 5 rockets remaining, so let's fire one through there nicely and see if we can get some hit markers maybe on him, and no, we don't. So that kind of proves that he's not in that room there, so he's definitely down there somewhere. I'll lower down to the next level. There's a few walls here that he owns, so let's just see if he's behind some of them. No, he's not behind that one. Maybe behind that one there, but probably not. So I still don't know 100% where this guy is hiding now. So what am I going to do? I'm going to lower myself down a little bit, edit into my own little build here, and we edit in quite nicely. I don't repair the edit because I actually want him to come through there, so I'm kind of keeping my eyes out. I can hear him. Is he above me? Yes, he is. He comes through. He gets baited. I let him just spray my structures. I know I'm going to beat him in a 1v1 with this drum gun because it's just so good, and he falls for the trap, and I take him out. Give him a little bit of a floss back from my OG days, and we get the victory royale. So I hope this video has helped you guys out. It's just some tips and just some fun tips that you can do throughout your battle royale games to get easy victory royales in casual games. It's fun. It's enjoyable. Get that scar. Get that grappler. Get that that movement going and stay away from people in close combat, unless you've got a good weapon and you're good at it. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to go and check out my other video on how to get the mythic weapons every single time in less than 2 minutes. It's a great video. It shows you guys some awesome tips on the exact locations to land in the exact spots, how to get disguised, all the little tips on the vaults and stuff, the best vault to go to. It's a great video and it's on screen right now, so press it. I'll see you guys over there.